Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope you guys are doing well. So today's video is going to be a question and answer video. Some time ago I asked you guys if you had any questions for me that you would like me to answer, and yeah, I had a ton of questions. So what I'm doing is today is going to be a part 1 and there's going to be a part 2 because there's just so many questions to get through. I didn't want to make it to be a ridiculously long video. So this is part 1 of your questions. So if I haven't answered your questions today, I will answer them in the next video. So I'm going to get started right away. Question number 1, which perfume do you recommend from Dior Privé for ladies? A must-have. Have you tried Lucky by Christian Dior? Now, I have tried Lucky. I have tried all of the new ones in the Privé line. Recently, when I was traveling, I did get to try every single one of them, and I tried them over days. Unfortunately, none of them kind of drew me in where I had to have a bottle right then and there. They were all so pretty. They were beautiful fragrances, perfect for springtime and summer. But they just didn't catch my attention that much for me to actually just purchase a full bottle right then and there. However, I did come back to my country and I did end up buying a couple that I remember liking a lot, and they were Dior Amour and Belle de Jour, and I do love them, but I have one in particular that I highly recommend, and is a total must-have for me anyway, but I do recommend the Ambre Nuit much more than any other fragrance in the current lineup. I adore this fragrance. It's a sweet amber and rose and vanilla type of a scent. So pretty. It's just beautiful, and it does stand out from any of the other fragrances that I did get to try. Now, my bottle's an older bottle from the older Privé line, but I'm assuming that it still smells beautiful, and so this I would definitely get Ambre Nuit if I had to just choose one. Okay, question number 2 is, could you name your top 3 favorite notes and the best perfume that exhibited each? Okay, my top 3 favorite notes are tuberose, almond, and I'm currently loving saffron. So tuberose and almond will forever be my favorite two top notes, but recently, as I said, saffron has been a major love for me as well. Now, the fragrances that have captured these notes perfectly, I would say, first one is the Saffron Troublant by L'Artisan Parfumeur. And the second one, I would definitely say this one. This is the Carolina Herrera. This is just the original, but it's an exclusive in the Confidentials line. This is a perfect tuberose fragrance for me. I absolutely adore it. It just smells like the most perfect, glamorous 80s style tuberose fragrance you could ever smell. Unfortunately, it's very hard to come by. So that's the only downfall on that one. And a perfect almond fragrance, I would have to say, is Almond Harmony by the House of Oud. I think that's what they're called. Yeah. This one is a nutty, creamy, almond, rich, delicious, delectable type of a scent. Perfect fragrances for the notes that I love most. Question 3 was, which is your best white floral and rose perfume? My favorite white floral is definitely Roger Dove Scandal. Now, this is the very first fragrance one of the very first fragrances that he brought out. So this was like a major thing, you know, for him as well, because this is one of the very first fragrances for him to create. And it's called Scandal. And I'm pretty sure they have, they have it in different looking bottles today, and I think it's called Creation S or something like that. I'm not sure, but I think it's been discontinued as well. So this was the very first formula. This is the one that I love most. I'm talking about this bottle in particular. It is glorious, absolutely glorious. beautiful, thick, syrupy, rich, intoxicating white floral, mainly tuberose and gardenia and jasmine. It's stunning, absolutely stunning, and it's got to be my favorite, my current favorite. Now, rose. Rose is a tricky one because I really haven't found my perfect rose yet, but this comes very, very, very close to being my absolute favorite. Well, it's my favorite rose from today, actually. If I do find another one that can top this one off, then I'll be happy because I still haven't found it. This one is called, what is this? This is Rose Absolue Le Parfum by Yves Rocher. Now, this is not the EDT or EDP. This is the actual parfum. So it has been discontinued, and as this is a vintage bottle, this is stunning, guys. This is, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Every time I smell it, I'm like, oh, it's amazing. It's powdery, it's thick, it's rich, it's rose, and it's spicy. It reminds me of a boudoir. I have mentioned this before. It smells like vintage makeup. It's absolutely stunning, and I'm so disappointed that they didn't make it in a bigger bottle. I think this is a 30 ml, and they discontinued it. So I'm very upset about that. Question number 4, what kind of perfume gives you winter warm vibes like a hug from a bottle? Definitely. The first fragrance, when I read that question, the first fragrance came to mind was Acad by Lubin. Oh my goodness me. This fragrance smells like when you spray it on, it just smells like someone has come up to you and just given you this massive, amazing hug that you've needed the whole entire day. It's warm, it's spicy, it's rich. It reminds me of winter and just cold nights and cold mornings. It just reminds me of being snugly in bed. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's an amber, spicy, kind of very vanilla-y type of a scent. I'm not sure if it's got tonka or there's another note, but I've just forgotten about it. I'll put it on the screen if I discover it. Benzoin. There we go. Benzoin. I'm not sure if it has those notes, but to me it smells like it does, and I associate those types of notes with a hug, a warm hug from a loved one. It just smells like winter in a bottle. Like you need to spray this on in the colder months to make you feel relaxed, comfortable, warm, satisfied. It's this one. If you want to feel like that, go grab this one. I'm telling you, it's absolutely gorgeous. Next question is, what is your favorite iris perfume? Now, this is a tricky question for me because I still have not found the iris for me. Iris and violet are two notes that I am still trying to find or trying to absolutely love. I do like the notes. I just don't love them. Like I love tuberose or I love vanilla. You know what I mean? So the one that I adore today has to be this one. The Iris Fauve by Atelier des Ors. I have to do this. I don't know. Every time I see these bottles, I have to do that. I'm sorry. But this has to be my favorite iris fragrance today, currently. I'm going to spray it on just to kind of remember what it smells like. Yes. It's a musky, vanilla-y iris. Very beautiful. Again, it's warm, it's not cold, and iris tends to be very cold sometimes, and I don't like that. I love this one because of the warmth it has. It's a very spicy iris, beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and I can smell kind of like a herbal aspect to it as well. Oh, I don't want to say smoky. It's not smoky. It's more like a cigarette, you know, like a white tobacco type of a iris. It's so weird, but yeah, sometimes iris can smell very like clean and paper-like or makeup, and I tend to not love that type of scent, but this one I really, really do love. Okay, next question is, what is your favorite tuberose fragrance? Oh my gosh, guys, really? My favorite note is tuberose, and you want me to choose one? Oh my gosh, this is so hard. But I do have an answer for you, and it's going to be this one. This is my own fragrance. I created this fragrance because of how much I love tuberose and how much I wanted to find my perfect tuberose, the perfect tuberose for me, the way that I like it. And I made it. This is my favorite tuberose fragrance ever. And look, I'm running out. I made a few bottles of these and I used them all up. I love, love, love this type of tuberose, okay? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so the notes, what I've done is I made up my own oil, and it had a few spices in there like cardamom, and I remember there was vanilla and other spices, and I let that sit for about 6 months. And then I bought some notes like obviously tuberose, there's jasmine, there's gardenia, there's all of these osmanthus notes, there's what else did I put in there? I think I put bergamot. I can't remember, but I've got it written somewhere. And I created this perfume. Oh, and coconut. Coconut. I love coconut tuberose fragrances. Not too beachy. I do like the stem of the tuberose to be included, so I do like that greenery as well. So basically this is what I've done. I've made my favorite type of tuberose in this bottle, and to me it smells like a fleshy coconutty green vanilla tuberose, and it smells vintage as well. It doesn't smell modern, and that's the way I like my tuberose most. So this is my favorite. Okay, question number 7 is a long one, but it's got a few questions in one, so let's try and answer them. Okay, so what was your best fragrance or brand discovery lately? It would definitely have to be this brand. Criminal Elements was my best discovery of a brand, and my favorite fragrance discovery would have to be by Anka Kush Perfume, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it's the Jezebel. This is a very intoxicating, spicy, seductive rose perfume. This is good stuff. This is, yeah, probably my favorite discovery this year. Absolutely stunning, and the lasting power and the sillage is amazing, and that's probably why I love it as well. But favorite, yeah, house discovery, Criminal Elements, perfume discovery, Jezebel. What will be your next fragrance purchase? Or what's your wish list? Now, I've got another question about my wish list, and I'll answer it there, but my next fragrance purchase is going to be Baruti Chai. I tried it recently, and oh my God, it is amazing, and I'm probably going to order it tonight, actually. So that's the next one I'm going to purchase. Which fragrance did you used to like and don't like anymore, and vice versa? Okay, where is it? It is here. This one, I'll move these first. This fragrance I used to hate with a passion. I'm not even kidding you guys. I could not stand this fragrance. Once upon a time, it was actually offered to me for free, and I did not accept it because I was like, no, this is not a fragrance that I can wear. Today, it's part of my top 10. Are you kidding me? Like, what's wrong with me? What is wrong with my nose? I love it. I don't know what's changed. I don't know what's happened. I have no idea what's going on. And it's funny because I tried this at the Fragrance du Bois boutique a few years ago. And just recently, like I think it was last year, I went back to the same boutique and I picked up the same old bottle. So I don't know. I'm crazy. I have no idea. So that's one I didn't like and now I love. One I used to like and now I really don't like is this one. Oh my gosh, what happened? I don't know what happened. This is Gucci Guilty Intense, and I have used quite a lot of it. Considering that I have a lot of perfumes in my collection. So I don't know if I've just kind of fallen out of love because I used it so much, or maybe It's just not the smell that I want to smell like today, because I remember I purchased this one years ago, like when I first started getting more into perfume. So maybe it was a thing to buy then because it just came out. I don't know, but it's a very musky floral, and that's the type that I don't like. I don't like extremely musky florals. Yeah, so this one unfortunately is not for me anymore, and I don't like the bottle because it smudges and it looks really dirty, and I can't stand that. My bottles have to be clean all the time, so that's probably why I don't like it as well. All right, moving along. We've got one more kind of question. Yes, from the same person. So what is your favorite brand and more disliked brand? Okay, currently my favorite house would have to be Roger Parfums. That's, yeah, I used to be Fragrance du Bois, but there's a long story behind why it's no longer my favorite house, which I will get into in another video because I'm planning to do a video all about that. But currently, Roger Parfums. It has to be. I love every single perfume that he's ever made. I freaking love that brand. I just wish they were more accessible here. And they were cheaper, but they're not. But it's my favorite brand as of now, I guess. And my most disliked brand. I'm going to have to pause it and think about that one and come back. Okay, so I've thought about it. Now, there's a brand and it doesn't really work for me. Okay, a lot of people love this house and it's a very expensive niche house. I just don't like what they do. I don't like their creations. I'm sorry to say, but I only like the way they use citruses, which is odd because they're very well known for using oud. I just don't like the way they use oud or their woods and their vanilla in particular. And the house I'm talking about is Bortnikov. It doesn't work for me. I wish it did, but it really does not. I find most of their fragrances to be synthetic smelling. I don't want to say, because they do use raw materials apparently, but I don't know. To me, it smells like a mush up of good materials mixed with very cheap synthetic materials. So I don't like what they do, I'm afraid. Now, that's a house I'm not into because of their fragrances. There are a couple of other houses that I really do not like. I will never ever buy. You will never ever see a bottle from them in my collection. And it's not because their fragrances are bad, but it's because it's a personal matter. I have mentioned one of them before in my videos, and I do have another one which I will never have in my collection. I don't want to mention it because I've already kind of answered that question about the fragrances. I don't want to go into a whole new thing, but yeah. So that was it. Thank you for that question. That was they were a few questions in one. Alrighty, the next question is by one of my favorite subscribers. Have you tried Paul Sebastian fragrance? The name is Design. I have not tried it, but you know what? I went out and I bought it because I know that you love the fragrances that I have talked about. So I trust that I trust when you say go out and try Design. I really do. And you know what? I'm so glad you told me about this fragrance because I never even heard of it before. And I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for telling me about this fragrance. This is a vintage fragrance. I don't think my bottle is vintage. I couldn't find a vintage formula, so I opted for this one. It's very cheap to buy, and it's a tuberose fragrance. It's a beautiful, beautiful 80s type of tuberose. It's amazing. It's a green, fresh tuberose. And it smells like the 80s to me. And that's my favorite type. So thank you so much for telling me about this fragrance. I adore it. Next question is also by one of my favorite fellow YouTubers as well. And one of my first kind of subscribers. The most delicious Gourmand. She wants to know what my favorite, most delicious Gourmand is from my collection. To date, I think it would have to be this one. Madeira by Omnia Perfume. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. This is a caramel fragrance. Straight up, thick, sweet, sugary, delicious caramel. So, so, so good. Delicious. I can't. You just, and my bottle is the old bottle. So I'm not sure what they've done or if they've changed the formula, but this is the old bottle. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Annie, if you can find it in this bottle, grab it. You will love it, I'm sure, because it's just a delicious caramel. It's a vanilla caramel scent, rich, intoxicating. Oh my God, it's beautiful. And the second question by you as well is, what fragrance should be in every perfume collection? Okay, I can't talk about other people, like what, because everyone likes different notes. Everyone, you know, some people like Gourmand, some people don't. Some people like florals, some people don't. But the one that I have to have in my collection, like it's a must, and I think is a must for any vanilla fragrance lover or any gourmand lover out there, would have to be Spirituous Double Vanille. It has to be. It just has to be. It's a boozy vanilla. It's delicious. It's gorgeous. It's intoxicating. Ah, I love it. I love this fragrance, and I think it should be in every fragrance collection if you love your vanilla scents. All right, next question. Who's your favorite fellow perfumer reviewers on YouTube? Oh my gosh, I have so many lovely new YouTubers that have come out, and I'm so grateful for that because I get to watch them now. I never used to watch YouTube, like fragrance videos on YouTube, believe it or not, because it's just not, it's not my thing. I don't know why, actually. It's odd, isn't it? Because I make videos and then yet I don't really watch them. I don't know. But recently I have been watching some wonderful new reviewers. I will link all of their channels in my description box because there's so many to mention at the moment. But my very first favorite reviewer on YouTube would have to be this guy, and I will put his name on the screen and link in the description box. He's my favorite. He really is. Awesome reviewer, fantastic taste in fragrance. He gives everything he has to give a review. He talks about notes, the history, everything you need to know about the fragrance. He will tell you. He is amazing, and he's currently my #1 favorite fragrance reviewer. Now, another question by the same person is, how many perfumes do you have right now? So in my collection, currently only bottles. I'm not talking about minis or decants or anything like that. I've got roughly about 1,500 bottles and over. And the final question is, can you do an updated perfume storage tour, or is it still the same? No, it's not the same whatsoever. It's completely different from my last video that I did, and I just can't do it at the moment because they're all over the place. I'm going to put in snippets and pictures of what it looks like today, and it's just shocking. I really need to do something about it. I need a bigger room. I need more cupboards. I don't know, but it's just chaotic, and it's just perfume on top of perfume, boxes on top of boxes. So it's just not video worthy at the moment, I'm afraid. So yeah, but it has changed quite a lot. Okay, question 11. What is the perfume you finished the biggest number of bottles of, and how many bottles was that? It was Samsara by Guerlain. This used to be my signature back in the early 2000s, and I must have gone through several, I'm talking about maybe 6-7 bottles, and it's the most used one from my entire collection, because as I said, it was my signature. So yeah, Samsara. Question 12. What do you think are the best Arabic brand perfumes? Also, which jasmine perfumes do you think are nice? Okay. Arabic brands. I love Al Haramain. I love Abdul Samad Al Quraishi. He has amazing fragrances. I love Arabian Oud. I love who else is there? I can't remember anymore. Latafa have some really nice cheapies. So I would definitely check them out if you love sweet gourmand fragrances. They have really cheap good ones. Al Haramain, I love their more expensive lines. I don't really like many of their cheaper lines, but their expensive ones I do love. Latafa have good ones as well. Their more expensive ones are nicer, I think. But yeah, those ones are good. And the jasmine perfumes, I do have 3 jasmine ones that are absolutely gorgeous. First one being Le Jasmine by Annick Goutal. Now this one is an older bottle. I have tried her current bottles and unfortunately they have been reformulated and not in a good way. So if you can find this one in the vintage bottle, this is a beautiful light springtime kind of jasmine. It smells so pure and feminine and just so pretty. It's a very fresh take on jasmine. And the next one is this one. I have never ever seen this one being mentioned before ever, so I'm not sure where you can find it, maybe on their website. It's called Pavillon de Fleurs by Septimany Perfumes. This is a very authentic smelling jasmine. So jasmine flower with all the indoles. So it's a slightly indolic, jasmine perfume. It's a very, very good quality, very classy and long lasting. And this one over here, this is one of my new fragrances that I just received. It was a birthday gift for me. My birthday just came up and I'm going to be doing a massive haul video of what fragrances I bought and what fragrances I've received, and this was one of them. I have tried this before and I did specifically ask for it because it's bloody amazing. I am not even kidding you. This has got to be my favorite jasmine perfume of all time. It's called Jasmine Antique by Rogue Perfumery. Oh my gosh, guys, this is amazing. It smells like night blooming jasmine. That's what it is. If you've ever smelt night blooming jasmine, it's a tree and it has this beautiful scent at night, specifically in the springtime and the summer months. My mum has this tree. That's how I know that it smells identical to it, because when I go and visit her at night, all I can smell is this scent. It really is amazing. Amazing fragrance. So I highly recommend these 3 in particular. Okay, question number 13. Would love to know what is on your wish list. Curious about both specific perfumes you want, as well as do you have any particular notes or types of scents that you are hoping to find to fill a gap in your collection? Great question, actually. My wish list, well, there used to be a wish list, but then I bought them all. I actually bought them all for my birthday. So I'm yet to show you guys what I got, but I literally wiped off my wish list and I purchased every single fragrance that I had really, really wanted to buy. If I can think of maybe a couple that I would like, but I'm not like dying for right now, is probably zoologist, sloth, bat, and maybe koala if I like it. I'm not sure, but sloth and bat I did like. But it's not something that I'm like currently dying for. You know what I mean? Like that can wait a little bit longer. And the second part of your question, what types of scent that I was hoping to find to fill a gap in my collection? Well, I don't have many citrus perfumes and I don't have many iris or violet perfumes. So I'm hoping that I might discover some new citrus, iris and violet fragrances this year, and I've already been trying to discover them, and I have added a couple of new citrus ones in my collection that I really, liked. So yeah, that's my mission currently. So 2 more questions, guys. I feel like I'm just rambling about. Okay. Another question from one of my favorite YouTubers here, Rose and Jones. Which fragrance house would be your first choice to collab with? Okay. I've always thought about this question, and I am very fussy actually, because sometimes I like the brand, I love what they do, but it's not something that what I would create myself. For example, I love, love, love what Dusita does. I love her fragrances, but it's not something that I would create for myself if I was to create something. I would love for her to create for me the fragrance that I want to, with all the notes that I love. I would love that, because she's just a genius at creating poetic types of fragrances, you know, meaningful ones, and ones that just you smell and you just like, wow, this is just beautiful. But a particular house that I would absolutely love if I was to collab with them and for them to create something under my name, would have to be Criminal Elements. Why? It's because it's my style. They make the style that I love most, okay? Their perfumes are vintage in smell. They smell very natural. They are an indie kind of company. He's very, very creative in the way he makes his fragrances, the way he blends them, and just the notes that go into them. And just I love this house, and I would love if I can see my fragrance being part of that collection. Let's just say that. So I would love to collab with them and have them make me my own fragrance. I would love that. Oh, my baby's crying outside. Hey, baby. Now, this is the final question, but there are a few people that have asked the exact same question, so I'm going to answer it in one go. And it's mainly, how easy is it for you to pick your fragrance of the day without decision fatigue? How do you choose your fragrance of the day, and do you change it through the day? And I have a similar question here. How do you choose your fragrances? What's your general fragrance wearing routine on a day? Okay, so I don't think it's hard for me to choose a fragrance to wear, believe it or not. I just literally wake up and I know exactly what I want to smell like today. I know exactly what I'm after. I open my cupboards, like I get out of my bed, open my cupboards, have a look through, just a quick look, and I know exactly where they are. So if I'm feeling tuberose that day, I would know which tuberose to go for. If I'm feeling something with vanilla, I know that, okay, I'm going to go smell this one, that one, and see which one I'm feeling more today. And I just spray it on. And throughout the day, I do change it up. I change it probably about 3 times in a day. So I've got my morning one, my daytime one, and my nighttime scent. And after the shower specifically, I do change it again. So I do keep changing my scent throughout the day. And I love layering as well. So if the scent is still on me, I do tend to layer it on top to suit it. Yeah, so it's very easy for me to do. I don't have a problem in finding a fragrance to wear or to choose, you know, a fragrance, which is really odd, as I said, because if you had a massive collection, I could just imagine that you would be like, oh my God, what the hell am I going to wear today? But for me, I don't feel like that. I don't feel that way. It's weird. It's really weird. The only thing is that I would say is a little bit difficult is trying to choose between designer and niche for the day. Do I wear a designer scent now, or do I want to smell more niche? I don't know. So yeah, that's the only probably issue that I would have. But I'm going to try and put like a little snippet of how I wake up and go to my cupboards and open the cupboard and maybe choose something. I will probably include that in this video. And that concludes my video, guys. Oh my God, my throat hurts. I've talked so much in this video. I apologize for the length again. As I said, there will be a part 2. Thank you so much for all of you guys who have asked me these questions. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this one and look out for part 2. My next video I think will be my birthday fragrance haul. So look out for that one. It's a huge one, that one. It's a big one. All right, guys. I will catch you all next time. Have a wonderful rest of the week and take care of yourselves. Bye. So we're going to pretend that it's morning and I want to choose my fragrance. So at this stage, I know that I'm feeling like, say, rose. I want to wear a rose perfume today. So I open my first cupboard and I have a browse and I start to scan which fragrances are rose based. So I can see a few here. And then if I don't feel like wearing them, then I move on to my next cupboard. Now the next one has most of my designer perfumes, so if I'm feeling like a designer fragrance, a rose designer one, then I'll choose something from here very quickly, but if not, I move on to the other niche cupboards. So I continue with opening my cupboards and then I spot the one that I really feel like, and I can see it here, and I just literally take it out and spray some on. And that's how I choose my fragrance. It's very easy for me for some reason, and I continue to do that throughout the day. Every time I want to change my perfume, I do the same thing. I open my cupboards and just choose the fragrance that I feel like, the notes that I feel like wearing that time. And as I told you before, remember how I said my cupboards are in a big fat mess? Well, this is how they look like. I told you they're all on top of each other. It's chaotic. And this is, all my cupboards are like that. I'll show you the other ones. See? Boxes on top of boxes, everything on top of everything is just, oh my gosh. That's why I can't really do an updated collection, because I can't get through the perfumes to show you what they are. And look at what we have here. We all know whose hat that is. And it doesn't end there, because I've got another cupboard like this as well. See? I'm telling you, everything is on top of each other, and that's probably why I need to fix everything, and then maybe I'll do a video. I don't